Hello everyone and welcome to another match of Hitman Bingo 2. Today it's a lower bracket round 3 match between TK47 and some random person. No co-caster for me this time, but it should still be a very interesting match. It starts in 1.5 minutes in Whittleton Creek, which was interesting to see. Both of them were in the game for a long time. Good few minutes. Not necessarily practicing, but taking in the map and probably just reminding themselves of some last items / tiles. So curious to see how that will go. The RNG has been quite interesting on this one because for every map there is a coin flip to do, whether if it's lockout or non-lockout, and 3 out of 3 times it is going to be a non-lockout game. So it's the more the one that's easier to practice, the one that's easier to grasp, the one that's closer to roulette will be the game mode that we're playing here. 2 lines on all 3 boards, and the first one to win 2 maps will take the match. And it starts in Whittleton Creek, which was chosen by TK47, and then we will go to Hokkaido, which was a random's pick. The bans for the second time this tourney was the two smallest maps, the two one-target maps rather, New York by TK and Dartmoor by Randy. So we won't be seeing those maps, but the RNG decider has already been set. It will be Sapienza if we get to the last map with a score of 2-2, but we'll have to see about that because of course sweep can happen here. And before we start and before we can see the lines, just want to say good luck to the players as well as Phenium, who is our first time admin here today. The board is here, and with one suit start, it's basically load in immediately and go for anything you want. You can probably go for the targets first if you want. It's not as big of a problem as in Lockout, where you want to go for the Janus snipe and you would be in trouble and you might be missing out on tiles. And Ren is going straight for tiles because of course he has gone past the Lewinsky property where you can do the snipe. He has gone past the party, the barbecue area, the Wilson property. So Ren is going straight to the house for sale, and we'll have to see which tiles do you mean. Randy just went straight for one item, and one thing down here would be the battle axe, but I don't see that. Plumber is of course a tile. Randy starting with the flickering, which will be a bit of a problem to get there. But gets the disguise. Flickering hopefully shouldn't be too much of a problem, but
47. I've marked your map with several
it's the first tile. It's of course non-lockout, so TK can himself do these tiles as well. I think Randy just wanted to go straight in, and you can see the reward that Randy has the first tile and is almost 45 seconds ahead of TK. We will see what happens there, because of course this was a sizable detour compared to what some other players would do, just go straight towards the targets or some closer tiles. But Randy going for the top row very easily. Plumber easy. Vault key card, we have seen it in the basement of the house for sale. Now he has retrieved the hatchet. The other 2 tiles will be slightly trickier. Install the missing propane for the grill. You can see and find a couple of propane flasks. It's not a problem. Of course, you just need to get to the Wilson property again. And to blend in as a gardener, you need to become one, of course. And then find a couple of spots. I think it would be the Helen West Garden. So curious to see if we will get to that any soon. TK has his first tile as well. He's become Spencer Green. Apparently the hammer is not part of the tile name, but we have seen longer tiles, so could add that for clarification later on. But TK now getting apples. And as for the 3 apples, there's 2 more to get, of course. One is near the main entrance door of Janus's house, and I think the last one would be in the trespassing area where the undercover garbage men are, but feel free to prove me wrong, players. Randy has gone towards the nurse, but is now back in the area, and one apple is right in front of him, so that will be the second apple there. Yeah, there's the bell wrong. And Randy might be just simplifying it for our sake, the first row and the first column, because one apple in hand, the second will be picked up here, which of course you won't see in the inventory because the propane flask is obstructing it. There's the luckily illegal action for all disguises. Randy now 4 tiles in the top row. Just that gardener tile remaining.
Back in the day, Janus was known for his obsessive need to archive and keep...
TK has went upstairs to get the Wilson's house key. It's, I think, a unique tile.
It might contain something interesting.
And I just need to interrupt myself. This is breaking news to me. As the plumber, you are allowed in Helen's garden. I never know about that. But there's a question mark. Oh, getting caught trespassing TK. Very last second before he could hop over the window into Janus's house. That's a solid third row progress now gone. Randy gets the silent attack. Becomes the gardener, and I think you need to dump him inside for extra safety. And that is going to look very good for Randy, rather. Needs the blending spot, the remaining apples, some red poisons, and
47. I've marked your map with several...
I think it's just going to be a formality, but he needs to become a Cassidy bodyguard, which I think may just happen during
of interest.
the garage ISO. But speaking of the garage ISO, because he has installed the profane flask, there will be no such thing just yet as the regular isolation. That will be delayed significantly. I don't think Nolan stays there forever, but that's a wrench in Randy's plans for sure. TK's restart means now that he needs to do the same things all over again, just those couple of tiles we've seen at the beginning, Spencer Green, as well as the Wilson's house key. That was another tile from the second column.
It looks like a draft and is full of explicit descriptions of
And then
how I
probably going for apples. At least TK had one.
having been appointed chair
And
of the Arc
you don't have a tile where you knock someone down with an apple. Row 2, column 4 is a muffin tile. So the apples may only be needed for it collects all three apples tile, which might just be pivotal for both of these players' runs. Randy is now going for these clues in the meantime, hoping for Cassidy not to take too long. I really don't know how
Janus is
long he will be
apparently
delayed.
engaged in a civil
I hope Randy doesn't
resident of
panic a lot, because he could hop into trespassing areas and not look for Batty, like,
his annual landing
of course,
helicopter
who is
near the
here
Batty
nearby,
Range.
but
Batty claims it interrupts the nesting birds and a species
doesn't
of
seem to be
frog
big of trouble for Randy, who has now 2 clues,
be a very important trip given his
and
As
he
the
could
car
jag a
passes
Cassidy bodyguard
through
inside, but
Scotland
it's
and
really about just waiting it out to the garage. I think Cassidy is leaving now. We could barely see it on the
indicates
instinct.
that the box was given to Janus by the constant, as per tradition.
Yeah, so I guess we will now know that this whole ordeal takes about 2 minutes. 2 minutes is how much Cassidy gets delayed by the barbecue mission story if you don't do anything.
Good work, 47. We now know Janus is meeting with the constant
TK went for all 3 clues in the meantime, of course. The 2 regular ones in the garden, the cigar box,
Close to the finish line.
cigar box and the lawsuit, as well as Spencer's a letter. Spencer carries the letter. I think it's a letter from Janus with more and more details. Not quite sure about the dead clue. I haven't heard it 1,000 times, only a couple hundred times. The lethal poisonous frog is an interesting one on TK's end, because it doesn't really tie together with other tiles, but if TK gets Wilson's house key again, then I think that's column 2 and row 5, which Adam might be going for. Adam's now becoming the nurse to make that progress on the second column. Bit of a risky KO, but if the deputy is looking away, then you should be good there. Randy's the first one to get a Nolan kill. And I personally missed it, but Randy must have become a Cassidy bodyguard and changed back into gardener because he needs to blend in as gardener. So I'm more than sure that the tile has happened. And then it's 2 more apples, one of which will definitely be trespassing as gardener, but the other one I think should be fine. And I personally don't have a lot of knowledge about the red poisons on this map. That's a blend-in, and that's tile number 7, with 2 more to go for Randy. TK is catching up nicely, he's on 4 himself. The Wilson's house key will be in the hobby room to his left right now. On the desk behind him, just guiding him there, of course he can't hear. He will make an appearance between maps, that's a TK47 custom. To just chat about the map after it happened. Ooh, flickering for Randy will be a bit of a trouble, as he's looking to do something that is... Oh, in some situations this can be wall-hackable for Randy, but gets the bullet distraction. And the non-trespassing disguise, the last of the apples, is in his possession, so it's now just the Janus skill. And at least 1 red poison. I think he's missing 2 red poisons, but I can't be too sure about that one.
Janus awaits your attention.
Oh, and Randy is just going gramophone, not risking anything. Safest option, and I think Randy is just going to guide us here because the ethics of Whittleton Creek have red poisons, and that's number 2 for him. So that's all the tiles, and all he needs to do is wait until Janus hears the gramophone and do the elimination in a non-trespassing disguise. And I think he's... To his credit, Janus will be quicker than Gunther, his personal bodyguard. I don't... There have been occasions, I think you could do this most of the time. You can kill Janus before Gunther arrived, and I think that's what Randy's planning here. A little bit of an improv. A little bit of a tricky end there. Nice headshot, and we can see Janus coming. Oh boy! Oh no! Randy gets the body found because the gunshot was heard through the closing door with the... There is a silence pistol, it has a range where they can hear the gun go off, and that regular bodyguard was in range, and Randy just used the wrong way to improvise there. Maybe he could have hidden the body in time, maybe there is another distraction there, but really unfortunate for Randy. And of course he had all the tiles there, and TK was, I think, only on 5 or already 6, doesn't matter, but definitely at least 2 tiles behind. Randy would have had the time, but the pressure just got to him. TK now, knowing big lead, knowing he has a big lead, sorry, can do similar things, but even safer. And also in trespassing disguise, he might just go extra safe there. Turning on Janus' gramophone is a perfect tile for him, and is going to just miss fire alarm there, which will be a fun end to his run. Fire alarms aren't necessarily free. They cause panic, and especially in Janus' house. You could have some bodies found, but I can't remember, and I don't really think that TK has specified anyone in this house yet, so if there's a fire alarm nearby, then TK might be best off just triggering one here. And poor Randy now. 3 quick tiles, but doesn't mean a lot in the grand scheme of things because he's 6 minutes behind TK.
This takes me back. The night
With the gramophone staying on,
era as constant. Okay.
Janus will have that conversation to himself, or I guess to Gunther Mueller, but he starts talking before Gunther arrives. Which gives time for the guards to arrive behind Janus, and this will be a very smooth kill. The loud shotgun on the back and is tempting to be used, but the silent next snap is usually all you need to do in bingo. That's all objectives down. And just one tile to go. Turning on fire alarm. Stands between TK and winning this map. I guess as well as dodging the enforcer and dodging the camera. TK is going to go the long way around. I'm not going to look up this late in the map. And I'll let TK surprise us. There's the fire alarm, and I hope it's not going to be seen. Oh, there's the yellow guns, but all bodies are hidden, and TK needs to leg it somewhere. He needs to go down to delete the evidence. That's not exactly what he wanted there. He makes his way down, and there is still panic down here. So what do you do here? Do you pacify this guard who will erratically turn one way or the other, but you still need to take care of the evidence? Supposedly from cover you can KO the body, but now there's a second guard down here. How easy could it be to turn on fire alarm? But it causes the ripple effect like this, and TK is stuck in the basement knowing that Randy has 4 tiles, but it's agonizing how close TK is to finishing. But technically all he has to do is shoot the evidence and exit with green guns, but you can't really make this risk. And now they are calming down. Both are enforcing, but one is about to leave and other one stays alone. Just one head turn to look out for when his cycle ends. No worries there. Avoids the headshot, shoots the evidence, and it's going to be probably manhole exit. He has a crowbar. But if he doesn't, then there is still the main exit to do. And he's looking towards manholes. So I can only hope yet that, yes, that is a crowbar from earlier in the run. It's not seen, and TK can exit with a 10:38 first try. Randy with that one rip. Losing a lot of ground there and eventually losing the map to TK. But nicely done to Adam. He kept his cool for sure after realizing what happened to Randy and realizing his situation about, I guess, his insurmountable lead. He just needed to work past the finish line, and that he did after the fire alarm issues. Welcome, Adam. That was some tense finish, I think you would agree as well. Yeah, Adam says he was scared. I can understand that. It seemed like a sketchy fire alarm to turn on, but I don't know if there are a lot of fire alarms in the first place. Yeah, as a quick recap, Randy was on... I think Randy had all the tiles and just needed to eliminate Janus. But the Janus headshot was heard. And eventually the body was found, and then I think Adam had 6 tiles and Randy had 0. And then of course from that, I guess TK had all the reason to just be patient with the last 3 tiles. There's the confirmation of Franium. TK47 has won Whittleton Creek. And Hokkaido Non-Lockout is next at 21 minutes past the hour. So that's about 3.5 minutes from now. Randy will be, I think, playing through the rest of his run. I know he needs the clue and I know he needs the chain escape, but I don't remember which tiles he needed still. The apples, for starters. Yeah, I honestly can't. Oh, installing the grill. Maybe blending in as gardener, but he's been gardener for quite some time. But yeah, I guess that's the main story about Non-Lockout. If you happen to know, where your opponent is. That can help a lot, because if he's far ahead, then you can play differently than if he's far behind. And Randy is on PC. He should be playing on Steam since the Epic exclusivity ended. And because he's mostly playing tournaments on Steam, we can still see some challenges being grinded on during matches, so that's usually a fun time. Randy with the last apple, then the gramophone. By the way, he's aware that the map has ended. He's chatting in Hitman Bingo 2 chat.
Welcome.
Just as peace of mind, I think Randy wants to finish it off. Now he doesn't have one of the red poisons. He gets the one from base, from the attic, but the other one not from before. And Randy calls it with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go before the Hokkaido spin. Well, not quite a spin, rather a board. TK with the lead. And TK 1 map away from advancing to round 4, where Mika awaits him. Mika has beaten Yanini and Joker J before losing to Phanium, so they're a very formidable opponent in that following round. But Randy, I think, also lost the first map of the match in his previous round against Yanini, and came back with 2 very interesting and entertaining map wins yesterday, actually, a day ago, eliminating Yanini in the process. So he could still do the same, or TK can wrap this one up in Hokkaido, which is one of the more unique maps, because the same loadout for every map means a lockpick is not as useful as you think, but it's not as useless as some others think as well, because there are some medical cabinets which hide useful items, which aren't necessarily required for tiles, but can make those quicker.
Welcome to Hokkaido 47.
Yep, that's Adam out with perfect timing before the board arrives. Just 4 more seconds until the second one. Still non-lockout. And there we have it. It's on the to-do list to make the font of some of these tiles smaller if they exceed a certain length, or maybe a different font which is more readable even at smaller sizes. But the ones that we can't fully read are, I think, the 5-row tiles. So the top left corner, exam importance, public patient journal, and it's the same for Dexter, funny enough. Both of the patients have public patient journals in their own seats. And don't get me started on the classified patient journals, of which there are also a few, but they reside in the hospital area. Randy going middle. I guess the mathematically most important tile is always the middle one, because you can make the 2 diagonals with it, as well as column and a row. So it's a good start for Randy. Would be even better for Lockout, but of course then maybe TK would have a different strat as well. TK starting with combat. It's a bit of a difficult situation here, not always. There are some ways to go red here. You can get combat from the guards below, you can get compromised by Dexter from the other suite, so it's not a free kill, but if done correctly, it's a really quick Yuka kill, of which or which Randy will have to do later with Sun or different means. No second line just yet, but we can see Randy might be going for the 3rd column. He's just used the remote to better the curator's mood. I guess rather improve, that would be a better wording there, but style number 3 and TK, I think we hear it, yeah. We heard the effect first before the kill was seen, but Yuki's down. And
Target down.
Because it's a triple
Now's the
shot,
time for
I
serious
expect the remaining bodyguards to get closer to the area. TK is reading his own patient journals. That's sadly not a tile, because it's just too damn close to a suit start. As Randy is looking for the stem cell pump, and that's gonna be interesting to see. There are two prompts next to each other which are similar. I think if Randy is going for the distraction, that's gonna be the stem cell pump. The one to our left, right? No, yeah. Thank God, yeah. Thank God Randy paused because I wasn't very sure, but that was definitely the stem cell pump. The other one is refill the pump with, I guess, the poison from below. Gotta love the poison terminology, but that's Randy with the 4th tile, and seems to... His 2 lines are starting to be manifested. The 3rd row, the 3rd column and the 5th row. It's gonna be a crowbar in this room, right up ahead. And then he's missing patient. Yuki's gas heater lamp, we will talk about that one because it's an interesting one. Becoming a doctor isn't free, but it's not hard either if you just want to take a bit of time. And activating expert mode in the console, I think, is a legal action. And Randy has perfect disguise for that, so... Definitely good progress for Randy. TK with the more important kill down, but still no tiles. He will be getting a doctor disguise though first. And after the precautions, it's a kind of risky subdue there, sort of in the open. If it was Jason Portman's suite, then that would be a body found more often than not, but seems it's fine once he can change into the correct disguise. Still not a doctor, now he's a doctor. Prompts don't always like to line like that. And Randy with a precarious situation, I don't remember, and I didn't see if he turned up the heat. I think he did, but he might have done it a bit too late because Yuki's arriving at the door and there's someone still in there. Which means that she thinks that the sauna is too crowded and won't be investigating that. That's almost feels like a restart there, but Randy will have to try some improvisation. No, he lets her go. She'll be a little bit of trouble for the second half of this board, but Randy must not feel too bad, rather just go for the remaining tiles and hope that TK can't finish. Yeah, hello observer, let's try to think of potential backups. There's always falling objects and propane flasks. Not necessarily click ones, but they exist. And as for mission stories, I guess Fugu would take too long. And kind of feels like the same with the gas heater kill with the cigarettes, but guess you just gotta commit to one of those. And where Randy still has a tile with the console where you activate expert mode. Yep, it's the legal one. And just missing the doctor tile and the gas heater lamp. I think for Randy's case it would be best to do the gas heater kill because that's a 2-in-1. And then you maybe want to get the cigarettes from... Well, Dexter is my only thought here. I'm sure there are more. The hospital or somewhere. But I just can't be exactly sure. But this will be a great moment for TK to catch up because Yuki is down. Eric can be killed at any point. And as for tiles, TK has 4. And he's going for the same 2 lines, I'm pretty sure. Just with a couple tiles still to go. A wrench and a rat poison. I don't see just yet the result of those 2 items, but may be important later on. TK is buying a can of soda, and I guess from here the crowbar is the closest. TK is buying a second can of soda for good measure. Expert mode, oh of course expert mode is much closer. Just need to use the legal item, which he did. Randy's become a doctor as well as a patient a couple of minutes ago, so it's a nice roleplay there. I think Randy's kind of stuck here though. I'm also not 100% sure if this stall remains free. Oh, this is scary for Randy. I want to say that this stall is free. The other one will be occupied by another bodyguard. But I'm honestly not too sure, and well, depending on mirror... depending on how the mirrors work here, if they work well, then that's doom for Randy. If the mirror is a fake one, then of course Randy could escape, but how would he know it? Just going to make his way out right now, and still with the gas heater kill to go. Well, I guess that's 2 in 1. Still the gas heater tile to go and the Yuki kill, but makes so much sense to do both at the same time. And he gets compromised still by nails, another late rip, which all but settles this map or match maybe, because TK with a long pause screen, if he comes back from hit maps with the knowledge that Randy is down to 0 tiles, then it's really just these 3 to go and he will have so much time to do so. There's a chance that this enforcer is trouble for TK, but no, he walks past very easily. Stem cell pump needs to use the correct prompt there. There are a couple stem cell items there, but hopefully TK looked up the correct one. There is the surgeon lady. Surgeon lady might be coming back there any minute now. TK couldn't do the tile with soldiers dead. Was that the case? That's potentially really going to be interesting. That's a huge problem if that's not the case. I think, I mean, Randy, TK is going for a different disguise, hoping that he can circumvent the issue, but if the prompt doesn't appear on the stem cell pump... Oh... That's gonna be really bad for TK. Both of his lines converge in that exact tile. Randy, insult to injury, just gets that tile. It's not a steal, it's not a lockout game, but TK is actually frozen, looking up some other methods, maybe even talking to Fenium about how to do this tile, and I think the answer to that is if you killed soldiers before, there is no way. We will hear some more expert opinion on that, but that's my guess, that's my prediction, that there's nothing to drain if you don't have body left. Oh boy, it's TK is not in a good situation, but he will keep going. And Randy will keep going as well, I think with Sono as his #1 priority, but he's suddenly up to 5 tiles as well. Patient, doctor, curator and gas heater lamp to go. And I think Randy, knowing or learning from the previous run, may just wait out these next 1.5 minutes to kill Yuki. think you could go for at least one more tile, at least the patient, to cut down on time, but then he's gonna wait it out. And I'm not sure what TK is gonna do here. Oh, TK wants to open this door, but it's not even the prompt there, and also you... Oh boy. Going to use the coin trail there to get that morgue doctor in there. We'll be chest passing on the other side. I guess at this point it's just going to be a test. TK should test it, but in the end G starts. From the very brief moment, I did see that TK didn't have the prompt to drain the stem cell pump. And I think we might be drawing different conclusions here, because TK thinks that he needs the poison there, while I think, and while we think, that TK needs not to kill soldiers before that. Randy with the second kill down, and just 3 tiles to go. 2 of them he'd done in the previous run, sorry. TK got 1 shot too few on the gondola, and now gets the kill on her. But that's just really unfortunate for both players with their runs and then rips. Especially for TK, but we really need to look into the tile as well after the match. And I've seen observers already testing it. And also then comes the question if... Is it within the realms of allowing this tile, if it's potential to be tricky like this? Or is it map knowledge / game knowledge? But with 1500 tiles across the trilogy, I don't think we would shed a tear about removing 1 or 2 if that causes problem for players. And we already removed a lot of tiles. Well, not a lot, but 5, 6, 7 or so. Which are too hard to get to. But let's just see what Randy does here. That's gonna be a quadruple shot panic. 1 bullet on the gas heater lamp, needs another one. They will start running towards Randy. There's the second one. Randy gets the gas heater lamp, and now he needs to get out of the area. And I think he will avoid combat like this, but it was a close call there, and it's an angle which I've never seen before. I know you can do it from Portman's suite, of course you can do it from Yuki's suite. The gondola is not an option, but with the sniper you could do the ninja start / ninja exit. And I suppose you would be potentially trying your luck with a pistol as well, but Randy, with the remote in hand, will be making the curator's life better. There's the trigger. With the line about the space and the colors and the shapes. He's definitely happier now, and just the doctor to go, which was quite something for Randy, his previous run. But Randy will be using the coin shell yet again. Definitely one of the veterans of using coins to his advantage, and he will be taking this last doctor to this stall, which I think is the one of the 2 which can be occupied by a bodyguard. So thankfully Randy will be exiting about 20 seconds after getting this guys, but I wouldn't want to leave him up here for too long. Maybe no GRB, definitely no GRB. That's the last this guy's collected, the 9th and final tile. And I suppose with no more enforcers to go, that may just be a GG.
Sodas. Former training
And indeed it is.
ICA. Regrettable.
Warning. Stimson.
GG there. And to the conversation in the admin chat, Randy started his run by shooting Solar's heart, and with the heart kills, the hospital is unaware of that situation. So I guess if you harm Solar's body, then you won't be able to do the poison kill with him at least. And then I think we need to look into the
Both targets down.
safety procedure, the electrocution kill, and all the other stuff, because you can't really do two different kills on the same body. You can do a kill on the body and one on the heart, but
The sudden limp on our resident yoga master.
I noticed that. Heard him complain about it.
but I guess the poison is not meant to be, and then I guess it's for the discussion if it's a tile that should remain on the board or not, but in the end it's Randy's second try.
Director Nakamura.
Aquariums always fill me with such
Please come to the operating
And
theater.
now we have a tied game going into decider. .43 past the hour, so it just ticked into 40 for me, so 3 more minutes. Randy's pro tip there: when you hear someone climb / vault something and you're chest passing while dangling there, don't continue climbing. Always the nice life lessons.
Hey, mister, I think you dropped that.
I mean, probably TK is aware, because in roulette you might do the full spin without knowing the result.
Throw it out, I guess.
But in bingo you need to click those tiles and the board goes away when the map is over, so I think TK is just playing for the sake of it, of course with red guns as well. And we're just under 2 minutes to go. The no time limit decider. Still non-lockout.
Mr. Jason Porter. Please come to the hospital entrance. A doctor will escort you to your checkup. That was for
And I think it should be 1 minute and 20 seconds from here. But just not exactly sure if Ferian did set the timer. Or maybe I should refresh the board, because Ferian says that he's done his part. Ah, no, not very. I guess we will talk about the stem cells after the match, because it seems that 25 seconds are to go until the next one. But seemed like a difficult tile. Which we will have to look into the after the match, but for now there is the decider to go in 7 seconds. TK just barely setting up, but just a coin and the lockpick to go, and he can load in then. Still non-lockout there, so of course it's very unlikely that those couple of seconds will make the difference. Starting the church bell, top left, but Don't really see that often as a viable tile. Although with releasing a winch manually, that's a nice one right below. Combat knife, I mean, it's nice for... I was just gonna say it's nice for roulette, but hard to get for bingo, but Randy, just like that, has gotten the combat knife before TK has loaded in. Already with one brick in hand, poisoning Francesca's champagne is easily done with red poison. And I guess Randy didn't go all the way down for the church key. He can do that later. And then of course the Bohemian is a much longer tower. Randy gets a romantic note. That could be of course anything from the second column to the third row. It's just not directly for a diagonal. And quickly about the become tiles, I can see the Plague Doctor, the Cyclist, the Red Plumber, the Bohemian we talked about in the bottom right. A lot of interesting interacts in the mansion, turning on a fire alarm, chairlift. Release the winch manually. Of course it cannot be the solar system because it's not a chandelier, it doesn't have a winch. Mansion Master Key is an easy one to get. And you can always ring the dinner bell manually, and it makes interesting situations with Silvio's cycle, especially if you ring the dinner bell and you call the observatory trigger as well. So I'm sure you can have different orders there. But I think he goes for the dinner first then. The church bell has been dropped. And he didn't kill anyone, crucially. I think that's the reason I held my breath for a second. And Randy, on his third Sapienza now, starting with the poison vial, for a very easy Francesca kill. A little bit of history here. December 27th, Randy played and lost Sapienza to Yoshi. December 28th, Random played and won Sapienza, but that was a really exciting one. It's some late Giannini rips. But the Sapienza lockout was won by Randy, so he's on 1 win, 1 loss. Ooh, Randy's late for Silvio there. Cannot do the chandelier kill. Or solar system, I guess. We'll have to do the chaos up here, and Randy also didn't throw the poison. And now TK is getting the poison, and we'll have a perfect timing to kill Francesca. Gets also the, I guess, the lab key card. Not sure exactly what name it would have, but it's not a tile at least, and TK will be getting the first kill. Actually, the first kill of this last map. After being a little bit behind to load in. And yeah, that's both the dinner bell and what's the dinner bell and the observatory triggers, and now he's going to have the launch. So oh, TK bumping into the guard, and that's gonna be the first restart of this decider. But Randy is not in a much better situation either. One crucial KO down. That's the second one, and Silvio can be killed anyway now. Little bit of a delay, but that's very big lead now, almost 4 minutes, and that's currently 5 tiles and going to be 6 with the VHS tape, and first and second column is looking more and more likely. All he needs is more crowbars, although he should probably have both by now. Yes, PG, he has done the virus. He has gotten the virus, although I don't think he knows that the virus doesn't go away, because he missed Franny and didn't use the poison still. we just barely didn't see how many crowbars he had. And Randy's chasing Francesca. It's not an impact poison. Poison stays. Okay, now he's through it. And no one else will die to it, luckily. Of course Randy knows that. But still stressful. VHS tape in Randy's hand. And he might go for scissors on this floor. I think there are 2 here. But I can't be exactly sure. And then the winch would be a floor below, but that's really something that you shouldn't do in suit anymore, yeah. And the 2 faucets are in front of the kitchen, for example. That's the only 2 I know. I'm sure the garden shed would have one, or the garden, but those are 2 very close to each other. That's the Francesca kill. And the big enforcer dodge begins. I think that's a screwdriver in this corner, so going for 1 scissors. And there really should be another one nearby, but I just can't tell where. Nevertheless, it's going for faucets. That's 1. Getting those investigating distraction pop-ups. Oh, and Randy with 1 enforcer around. This is where a coin could come in handy. I think Randy's going for a winch. It should be in a room adjacent. Yeah, at least that's 1. And where is that guard going? Oh, that's so lucky for Randy that he's not being jabbed by them, but he kind of is still. It's the big lockdown after, or not lockdown, but panic after Franny died to the poison. The guard is still coming and it's hunted when you are looking at it. Oh my goodness. Such a big moment for TK and of course for Randy as well, but in different signs, just like opposites there. TK can get 1 scissors. Didn't pick it up. That wasn't a pickup. But he's going to try to dodge that enforcer. I guess after all this, TK won't be going for scissors. Of course, now he also sees that Randy is way behind. This game has been blown wide open and I can't really say which times TK would go for. Of course, for Randy, we've seen the first 2 columns and he was kind of close to that with missing the winch, and I think the VHS tape wasn't turned on at that point, but Randy was kind of close there. But for TK, this is the save. Which quickly scouting these 25 tiles. Oh, TK gets hunted through the boxes. We are back to a Randy lead. This Sapienza is so wild again. Very unfortunate trips for both of them. Randy getting the second brick. Already has had the 2 crowbars. Strange that Randy doesn't have the romantic note from this round, but he can have it from later on. But I don't even know what order is best for Randy at this point. Because all the troubles came after eliminating Francesca with the poison, but if you take so much time to kill her, then it's also kind of against you. Because then you end up with a very long time. 1 scissors for Randy, and I think the second one may just be thrown in there. No, Randy doesn't want to do it yet. I guess that's the safest. Francesca will be having her phone call eventually. I don't understand that last poison fume. Like, the last fumes were so far away from the impact. I hope that's not gonna be causing any issues and Francesca will die eventually. Another trouble for Randy is whether this church bell drop will be causing any NTKs or not, because that can happen.
What the hell is that?
Now it's dropped. And still green, but will it be green for 5 more seconds? I think Padre Francesco have seen it. And I think the bell has dropped completely without eliminating anyone. That's the VHS tape for the interact tile later. I think Randy is going for the manual observatory tile, which I think it's fine. No one else should be looking towards 47. And that's one target down, and the other one is close to being set up. We will see, hopefully we will see some Francesca picture in picture. There it is. So that's 2 targets down versus 0 for TK, but TK has 4 tiles in a line, and the amputation knife is a non-issue. It's the left one, which Randy is getting right now. No insta combat. Also the dinner bell manually. It's been a while since that, but I want to say I've heard the bell. I would have to go back to the votes to see that for sure, but I want to say TK's done that. Randy with the second faucet. But he's going extra safe just in case. He's done one upstairs, but... Or was it perhaps different run, but... I have lost the train of thought at this point, but Randy with the 2 faucets for sure, not claiming it yet, but we know it's there. And then it's 2 scissors and the winch, as well as the virus, maybe the cameras, but Randy's dodging that nicely. Big whoosh there, very close for TK, but gets out of the room and also going for scissors now. This might be the diversion here. TK can still go for row number 3. And I think he will go for that because we've seen the safe attempts. That's the last one of the 3rd row. Mention master key is... Well, it's in the observatory. It's... If you go up 1 floor from there, TK almost getting caught by enforcers. Oh, this is going to be so close by the end because it's 6 for TK and 8 for Randy, but TK only needs 3 more tiles, Randy still needs 2. Randy net just passing here and finds the second pair of scissors. Relays a winch manually, which could actually be the church bell, but of course you never really want to go there on foot. So 1 more winch and the virus for Randy. TK needs this double KO. Oh boy, how is that not red guns for TK? That was incredibly close, but TK gets the very important Silvio tile. Another pair of scissors and just an amputation knife to go. But also the Silvio kill. Where he might be at this point is big question, especially with the interactions he had done. I think the observatory panel as well as the church bell has been interacted with. There's Randy with the winch. No non-targets and just the virus to go now. TK now using the panel, but Silvio is... he wasn't having dinner and he wasn't on his regular cycle. So I'm not exactly sure what that is, but there is going to be the falling object kill in about a minute and Randy trying to do and successfully doing the mud shot to get to the lab. Still a way to lose this one, because with the pistol you can get non-target kills. If it is a stalactite shot, you can get compromised. Either and both methods can cause rips there, and TK gets the second kill.
Now destroy the
Amputation knife in this room. Not sure about the second pair of scissors, but Randy gets the objective with no non-target kill, and that should really stay green for 2 more seconds, and I think Randy will advance to the next round. But what a back and forth this Sapienza has been. GG's to both. TK is so close there, just one unfortunate trip there. But especially that Hokkaido was just really tense match. Yeah, GG's to Randy, and he will advance with a score of 4-2. I'll
field lab.
quickly do this in tournament, because I think Fenium doesn't have,
The virus
or like
prototype.
our newest heralds don't have the permissions yet,
Some
so
type of quarantine unit.
just do it myself and then figure out for later. TK now gets the KO. I think... Oh, I'm sure this must be a Delighton controller. It looks solid. I just want to see this work for TK47. Oh, those body shots, so sadly. Also for the record, oh, the non-target kill. I guess it's good that it didn't happen in this run. It would have been even more sad.
Now head towards the next.
And of course TK still would have needed the last pair of scissors. But in any case, let's see what this does to the brackets. It was a lower bracket match. Round 3 is now over. Randy beating TK and advancing to the next round. And he will be playing Mika there in round 4. With Joker J in the other half of round 4, waiting for the loser of Yoshi versus myself. And that's basically the whole bracket. Just gonna move a little bit towards the top with Fenium already in a Winners bracket final. Awaiting his opponent. He's the first one to be guaranteed top 3 and just 1 win away from the grand final on Sunday, January the 8th. And as far as upcoming matches go, there is one, I think probably one last match for the year actually, but we'll see about that one tomorrow at 9 PM CET. So basically 24 hours from right now, Yoshi versus myself for the other Winners bracket round 3 match. Winner plays Fenium, loser plays Joker J, and that's basically the remainder of the bracket. That's not a lot of extra matches to go. Getting close to the finish now, and congrats again, Randy. Also GG's to TK, and a nice tournament for him as well. But that should be it from us today. Thanks everyone for watching, GG's to the players, and especially thank you to Fenium for winning this match. But yeah, until next time, see you everyone.